Darlene, would you help us with our pledge to our flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And John Claypool, please lead us in song.
Tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Very good. Lion Tamers, do we have any guests in the house today? I will tell you while they're getting ready to see that if I counted correctly, we have 55 people here today.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, we have 4 guests today. Isla's got 1, Josh, and Greg's got 2 guests, Jay and Shannon, and Marilyn's got 1, David. They'd like to talk a little bit more about it.
Okay, now I have to find you. I was looking at this beautiful woman. Okay, who is our first guest? Right here.
Hi, I'm Josh.
All right. Welcome, Josh. All right, are you a guest? I don't know who's a guest and not a guest, so I apologize.
Hello, fellow Lions. I'm Shannon, my name. Thank you. Hi, fellow Lions. My name's Creeper.
Maybe we should have you guys share your favorite color or something.
This is David over here.
Perfect. And David, welcome, David.
Thank you.
All right. Now the most important part, time to collect money. Who's going to start us off? All right, man, I'm having a lot of people with no money. That's crazy.
Greg's got some.
All right, Greg, we can always count on you for some money.
Yeah.
You are my sponsor, so I would expect
I'm
you to
sorry.
have some money.
She is a good one. Oh. Yeah, you
Well,
can.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, a couple bucks. Number 1, where is that doggone lion, Bob? Where'd he go?
Bob which?
Not you. Not hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Bob Bradley, he's over here.
Bob Dyson.
Oh, Boguson.
There's got too many Bob. Boguson. Where'd he go?
Did he take off?
Well, that jerk.
That third left.
I was glad to see him.
Yeah. For a short time.
Yeah. Oh, short time. Short time. We're talking about Patterson again? Okay, here's the good dollar. Looking forward to the fair this week. It's a heck of a lot of work, but it's a whole lot of fun. And looking forward to working with some of these new guys we got. Gals.
All right.
Okay, line on here.
Lion Ron.
You don't want it?
You don't want to say anything? What about Sula's the best?
Yeah.
He did say that earlier, no lie.
Take the money and shut up.
Oh yeah, no take it. Hey, that's messed up. We're gonna fine you for that. I can never shut up. That's my problem. Lion Mark.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests. Didn't have a whole lot, but I was going to do happy bucks or sad bucks before, but sitting next to Ron, and the discussion of concessions reminded me of a time many years ago at the fair. And I don't know how long ago you were concession chairman, but I was concession chairman about 30 years ago. And we were working at the fair, and I went back and I started changing the pop canisters and moving everything around. And he came by and goes, "Do you know how to do that?" Yeah, I was concession chairman. But sometimes when you've been a concession chairman, you're kind of quiet about it so you don't get sucked into things. So, future advice for about 20 years from now, Bob. Keep it low. Since I didn't have much, I actually have 2 quotes of the week.
There we go.
The first is from J. Michael Fields. If you want it, you'll make the time. If you want it, you'll take action. Excuses are for the mediocre, and you are anything but that. Go out and make it happen. The second, I think, is very appropriate for both Lions clubs and the community overall for culture. Simon Sinek. A culture is strong when people work with each other for each other. A culture is weak when people work against each other for themselves. Let's work with each other this week.
That's a great one. Okay. All right, what do we got out there? You got money? Come on. Yeah, you know, Katie is expensive. If you want to say what we start to charge for that. And Georgia's expensive.
It just makes my lunch better.
Oh, smooth talker. Lion Walter. That's a lot of money, you guys. Is that for this or something else?
Turn around the other way and make my lunch better.
Anything you'd like to say, Lion Walter, besides that?
No, any more that I could say would positively get me in trouble.
You know we're all about getting in trouble, guys. So,
No problem.
all right. I don't want to miss anybody. Coming over here.
Hazel, look, she didn't pay any money for us sitting here.
You have to pay her.
That's the other way around.
Listen, Rick, us women stick together, and Georgia too. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Lion Cindy, or second vice president.
That's right.
One of many titles.
Yeah.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, I had to have a list for this day. Eileen, it's very nice to see you back joining us again.
Yeah.
And my garden is flourishing. You know, for those of you that don't know me, I don't have a green thumb, but for some reason my garden is flourishing. I can still kill the inside plants, but the garden, it must be because I have to sit outside to garden it or water it. So it's flourishing, and I can't wait for my tomatoes. In fact, I bought some green ones at farmer's market, so I'm going to have fried green tomatoes tonight. The other one is the sunshine. It seems like everybody's happier and nicer when the sun is shining versus rainy, dark clouds. I have a cousin that's coming into town that graduated with Jim, and he asked me to put together a cousin get-together. Well, I'm the oldest of three. My brother, who's the middle child, was kind enough to tell our younger sister, we're not getting any younger, you better come up here and see everybody before we start seeing them at funerals. So she's flying in from Scottsdale to go to cousin get-together, so it's a win-win. And then we're going to have dinner at the new restaurant at A&A, and I totally forgot the name again. And it's funny, because my brother doesn't drink, doesn't gamble, my sister doesn't drink, she gambles. So we're going there for just the food.
There you go. All right. All right.
It is a pretty nice restaurant for those who haven't been yet.
All right.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. I think that. Oh, wait a minute. Too many cats here. A dollar is still a dollar. All right, I'm back.
Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, Leroy absolutely announced that, okay? It's still senility, we have rules. We don't follow them very often, but we have them. So, let's see, the best way to recap this last week is President Cheryl. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Is that Saturday was supposed to be a day the Palmer boys getting all together and just working on cars all day. One of the cars already had broken down in Seattle before leaving, and so the day didn't get started until 3 in the afternoon. That means it didn't end until 2 in the morning. I can tell you, for those of you who have seen me at 2 in the morning lately, it's not pretty. They
of you have had that experience. Luckily. So we did get all the cars fixed. Everybody got done what they needed to get done. Downside was that we ended up eating steaks at like midnight. They were delicious, but man, it's just like falling asleep. Ken, you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. I know you do. I've seen you fall asleep. The best part of this coming week, I cannot wait until we see what the numbers are. It's going to be awesome. Bob and Lloyd and the entire crew have made an amazing number of purchases. We still got a couple of dollars left in the bank, but here's to hoping for a really, really good week. And at any point that you can be there to help, please do that. Thanks so much.
And also, Pat, there's never a bad time to eat steak. It don't matter if it's midnight, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., as long as you're eating steak. So, okay.
One more.
One more.
One more to wrap up for the Steve Sula show. Because I get to tell you a little secret. This podium is on a crack between two tables. One of the tables is a tiny bit taller than the other one, so whenever I lean on the podium, it goes back and forth, and back and forth. So if this podium's rocking, don't bother knocking.
It's like a roller coaster up there.
I guess I leave that up there.
I think you can.
Okay, take it back.
Okay, I think we're ready for our program, which that's your cue, Mr. Terry Woodruff.
Yes, we did it. Yes, we did.
President Cheryl, sorry. We missed one more person.
Oh, okay, well, we can't have that.
He's Lion David or just David? Both. Perfect.
President Cheryl, fellow lions and guests. So this dollar is, actually a $7.50, but I'm going to start with just a bit of stuff. One that, my mom actually, believe it or not, we had 6 kids outside of the house, and my mom's car actually, a tire rolled from a rig and hit our car.
Oh.
But the good news is, it's just the happy part, that is no one was hurt, and also it may just be just a bumper, it's just minimal damage, so we got a new car, thankfully. Thank you very much.
Nice.
David, I would say you do much better than a lot of our Lions here in announcing and following the rules, so kudos to you.
Okay. All done, Sula?
All done.
Okay, now you're up, Terry.
Thank you, President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests. Once again, thanks, Jim. Jim sees me, he's just so happy to see me all the time, so. I said, my God, what's he doing here? Anyway, Jim writes up these awards for me after we decide who is going to be the winner, but he's the one who prints it, or else Eileen does. I've never been able to distinguish which one does it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. For the month of June, these awards are for just last month. And yeah, as busy as we are, and we've been in July, it's hard to believe that we didn't do a heck of a lot in June, per se. Things were gearing up for July and stuff. So anyway, we had to dig the bottom of the barrel to get these people out.
Straight from the bottom, all right. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Actually, these people are pretty important with the club, so I stand corrected. For Lion of the Month, we have Sharon Nolan for her baseball night out and trying all the work to try to get us excited. And, yeah, take a selfie. Yeah. Thank you. Sharon.
Are you wanting? Go ahead.
Okay.
Get back over here, Terry.
Oh, you did have to get over there for the selfie. Well, now we have to get a new phone because
Yeah.
Cindy broke it. There it is.
There we go.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it. Now then, for unassigned land of the month, this is a gal that does an awful lot of stuff for our club, but basically she's into the numbers. This is for Rose Dickinson, for all the stats that she does all the time. Do you want us to come back there, Rose?
She's not coming. You're going to have to if you're going to
It's
get
been a long month, huh? She's going to be in at the fair all the time. I suppose we'll let her sit on her stool all the time.
She's conserving her energy.
Thank you.
Rose of San Antonio.
Right side up. After this.
Yay, a picture with a different background.
That's why I call you Rose. Yeah, the old thorn in the side trick. Jim, I'm still here. Don't worry about it. And for the last one, unsung Lion of the Month, she was still not the president, so she tried to get her installation, which was different from what it's been, trying to change things around. We also had the social party after the initiation. So Cheryl, this will be the last thing you get this year. So
I don't know. This is an awful long walk.
There you go.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome. And we didn't have any idea of any rookies that did anything better than these below. All righty.
Then I can.
I guess that's about it.
That's it for you?
Yeah, it's good for me.
Okay, well, let's see what we come up with here. Okay, before we move into our sunshine, well, let's do the sunshine report first. Do we have any sunshine notes, cards, letters, cablegrams? Nothing? Okay, no sunshine this week, which means maybe nobody's that sick, which is good news, always good news. Now, what's this I hear about, a baby shower?
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests. So does anybody not have an It's a Girl pin and baby prediction? If you do not have these, I've got some in the back with Anna and I've got some up front here. So we are doing a little baby shower surprise for Katie today. And each of you should have this baby predictions and advice. So it's really important that Katie gets the knowledge of this group's advice for parenting. So please fill out your cards and I'll swing by here in just a little bit to pick those up. And please keep the pin. It's a girl pin, so you can think of her when she's in labor and delivering on whichever day she is having a baby.
And take the advice.
Thank you, Carrie Ann. And thank you, Katie, for having a baby, sooner or later. Okay.
I can only imagine what some people are right for her.
Moving into our announcements. Katie, speaking of Katie, did you have something you wanted to share with us?
Yeah.
Here, you can use this one.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests. As I made a quick announcement last week, I think it was, about the centennial, I'm gonna need a committee put together because I will not be there. So if you want to co-chair, if you want to be on the committee, please let me know and please do it because I can't. Thank you.
There's a desperate plea for you. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Bob, you're up.
President Cheryl Lyons again. Surprise, the fair starts tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, I know, it snuck up on me too. But yeah, we still need help. I think I got enough hamburgers, I'm not sure about buns, but we can go, gluten free, I guess. Anyway, things are looking pretty good, we just always need help, that's the biggest thing. So jump in, do what you can, and sign up, it would be helpful. I want to thank Lloyd for running around with me the last week and a half.
Good job, Lloyd.
Good job.
Sometimes he gets lost. Anyway, it's been good, it's been fun, I'm looking forward to working for the next 4 days, so stay there.
Okay. And I would add an addendum. Please remember that this event isn't done until August 1st. There's cleanup after we're at the fairgrounds for 4 days. We still have cleanup early the next week to get ready for yet another concert at the lake. Okay. Hal's not here. Okay. The 100th anniversary gala committee, or such of it that is here, will meet very briefly at one of those side tables over there to review the announcement reservation form. That's all. And Sharon, would you like to share with us about the new idea that we're coming up with here?
I guess so.
And anything else you might want to share with us? Keep it clean.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, President Cheryl. Fellow Lions and guests, I had this idea. This is a new idea, something new we're going to be doing, and it's called I Got Caught Serving. I know we do the Lions of the Month and the Rookie of the Month and the Unsung Hero and all that, but sometimes there's somebody that may do a random act of kindness that nobody sees. Or somebody may help you or do something nice for you, or help you in any way, or even if it's something funny too. It doesn't have to be just a random act of kindness. We are starting this thing called I Got Caught Serving. We're going to have these cards in the back. Anybody can get one at any time. And if you notice anybody doing anything that's a random act of kindness, or somebody helps you in some special way that other people may not see, let us know. And then we have this little, what?
You want us to get her lunch next?
That would be nice. I'm sure she wouldn't mind. Anyway, once you fill out the paper and give it to us, we have these little, it's just a little memento. It's nothing big. It's just a little lion keychain as a little thank you for your act of kindness and for your serving.
Very good idea.
And that little plastic jobby here is going to become a collector's item, I just know it. Suitable for hanging on your key ring, or on the corner of your monitor, or maybe your rear view mirror in your car, any place. Yeah, so you're going to want one of these, so keep your eyes peeled and listen. Listen and keep your ears open and your eyes peeled for other lions doing acts of kindness, or just doing something ridiculously funny. We want to know about it. Yes, it does leave the door open, doesn't it? Okay. Carrie Ann.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, just want to remind you that this Thursday is the board meeting starting at 8 a.m. at Cascade Title. Board meeting is for the board, but also you're welcome as guests too.
Okay, yeah, especially if you're on the board. This Thursday morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. at Leroy's office. And speaking of Leroy, do you want to tell us about some more awards coming up soon?
Sure. So, President Cheryl, fellow Lions, on August 29th, I think that's the last Tuesday of the month, we're going to have our annual awards. We're going to give them out, and we're going to make sure that we have a lot of people here to honor the people who did receive those awards. And so, I guess that is the 29th. Yeah, that is the last Tuesday. Anyway.
Yep.
Carry on.
Hey Leroy,
Yes, sir.
can you announce who the finalists were for the 3 state awards?
Yeah, I could do that. I just happen to have it right here, right? Because I knew that was coming.
Sure you did.
So the finalists for Rookie of the Year was Ann, Eric, and Rick Hartley. Dawn Sung was Katie Dillinger, myself, and Rick Johnson. And Lion of the Year was Bob Piper, Sharon Nolan, and Pat Palmer. And so those are who were nominated. And so we will find out on August 29th.
Even if your name was not on that list, you're going to want to be here to cheer on the winners. So put it on your calendar. 5 Tuesdays in August. Okay, who's next? Oh, I guess I could say that, Larry, are you here today? Yeah, there you are. You still got any program chair opportunities waiting? So, yeah, there's still a couple of months. Still a couple of months open. So if you can step up and volunteer for a month, see Larry. He'll tell you what months are open. And remember, for most normal months, you only have to come up with 3 speakers, because our last Tuesday is the Terry Show.
They can ask for me.
They can. Okay, so please, if you think you know some good opportunities for some programs, sign up. Pat, Lion Pat.
President Joe, fellow Lions and guests, I remember several years ago, we had some impromptu people take a couple of the different months. And some people asked their neighbors who had incredible hobbies come to visit. They had people come from a local church or a local business, but it wasn't necessarily about the business. It was about something that person does in their life that was just super interesting. Okay, there's a number of us in this group who have access to county commissioners and all these other people. That's not what we always want to listen to. Politicians or agency people or whatever. Just folks, you know? I gotta tell you, I would love to have John Claypool's wife, Connie, come and talk to me about how she makes that damn casserole, because I'm still dreaming about it. There's the key here is to make it different, not to have it be the same. Right, Chairman Larry? Right. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. Very good observation. Astute.
George did tell us where he hides his donuts in his house.
Oh, Mr. Sorensen, I love you. In a good way. Okay. Marilyn, wouldn't you like to share some words with us?
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, in September, in between some of our activities, is the USA-Canada Lions Leadership Forum. And that is September 21st through the 23rd, and it's in Reno, Nevada, so you can, kind of create a little vacation trip. The announcement today is to let you know that currently the registration for the conference is $285. That also includes, I believe we ended up with 4 meals, so that's not too bad. And then it goes up in August 1st, so which is just coming up, to $325. Steve, myself, and Darlene are attending, and Darlene mentioned she could take in one of the Lady Lions because she has free lodging. Ask her why she gets free lodging. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know it's still open. It's a great opportunity to meet other Lions in leadership and just good old Lions just like us too. So, thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome, Marilyn. I heard a rumor, and I think it's true, that for the time being, until further notice, our lunches here are going to be on a cash or check only basis. The credit card machine isn't coding properly, and it has to be fixed. So that could take a while, and it's not known right now how long it will take. But for now until we get the go sign later on, it's going to be cash or check only for your lunch. Is there anyone else who needs to make a report today? No? Well then, let's move on to senility, Secretary Leroy. I do. Yeah, Secretary, what's your name?
I think we know who has the senility.
We have a senility down.
We do?
So, yeah. Hey, I have the list here. I checked you all out. Yeah, President Cheryl. And we actually had two who decided that they didn't want to have their names on the list. And I'm going to start off with Lion Mike Parker. He didn't bother to sign in. It wasn't for the fact that I heard his voice, and it's like, wait a minute, there he is. He's so excited. He's so excited to be here. And the other one I know is really busy. His mind is really scattered. It's all over the place. I know. The other scattered brain. Bob Piper.
Okay.
I get his excuse though.
Thank you, Leroy. Okay. How about we do some ticket drawings? Let's see. Here they are. Thank you. Okay, let's start with our trusty blue ticket. And the number on this one reads 715-434-1. 4341. Is that your hand, Cindy? Or are you just stretching? That's her hand. Cindy's got it. Okay. Good luck, girl. Draw a winner. While Cindy's deciding where the winner went, the red ticket, the number is 122921. Oh, Cindy. You can do so much better, honey. Oh, Harold. Okay, Harold. Diabetes fund. Okay. Great. And being as how it is the end of the month, oh no, we need to do baked goods first, I guess. Let's do that first. So Jane, you get to announce since you didn't get to last week.
President Cheryl, first pick goes to Cindy Sessions, and whatever's left over goes to Ken Patero.
Oh, Ken Matero, he always wins everything.
Pick the green tomatoes.
Okay. So, now we have our end of the month drawing, and the end of the month winner this week, or today, being as the last Wednesday of the month, is the lovely Eileen Reinecke. Now, you're going to have to coach me here, because I forgot what happens when...
Free lunch or the money goes?
Oh, this is the one for the free lunch, not the one I tried to make it before. Free lunch or
Charity.
Or a charity of your choice.
What? Charity.
Free lunch or a charity of her choice.
Charity of her choice. Jim's your charity.
Are you her charity?
Give Jim away.
Okay, LCIF. Thank you very much, Eileen. Okay. Does anybody have anything, since we have a few minutes left, this is our short meeting month, or week. Anybody have anything we would like to share for the good of the order?
You know, all these guys that have shorts on today, we can have an ugly leg cut.
That's coming. That's coming.
Make sure they don't go through your foster farm.
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
Lion Maryland.
President Cheryl, fellow Lions and guests, I just wanted to share with you, Steve and I had the honor of attending the Castle Rock Lions dinner Thursday night for installation of officers, which I was able to do. And I just wanted to share with you, Castle Rock has gotten smaller and smaller and older. And then when I was district governor, I installed a new lion. She's, I think, in her 50s, and she's got energy, which was exciting. And then her husband also joined, and since then, they have brought in new lions. And so currently, the incoming president is Patty Mountain, and no, wait a minute, she's the vice president, and Keith Forsyth. They're both brand new lions within a year or two, and they have brought so much wonderful energy to that club. And I know that we have, in past, been a little bit more vigilant about making visitations. But if anyone would like to go visit Castle Rock in the next month or two, let me know and I'll set it up. Mark, that'd be great. They also have their food, it's not called a food bank, but essentially that's what it is. And they do this every Thursday. And last week, they gave out 50 to 55 families, I believe. So every week, they manage to find resources to donate food for their food bank. So, and they also remodeled this area. It's in the Eagles Lodge downstairs. And when Patty Milton joined and her husband, they remodeled it. They painted it, cleaned it up, created shelving, and they have an assembly line that some of us volunteered a month ago to help them out. We came to just check it out, and they needed help, so we went to work. So it's been a great relationship building with Castle Rock Lions. Again, very small, but very mighty. And I just give them kudos for doing what they're doing, and they look forward to increasing their membership. I have forgotten how many they have now, but it's at least 15, maybe 18. They want to grow. So I would challenge Longview Pioneer Lions to continue to support them.
Thank you, Marilyn. Excellent. And before we close today, Terry's got something.
Oh, Terry. Believe it or not, I have something. I was handed a note this today when I got in here, is that the Boy Scouts evidently are still meeting, and they were thinking about working the fair. So how many do we want? Find out how many they want. Since we haven't had it for 2 or 3 years.
200.
200, all the troop, everything they got. And obviously it's not for the Wednesday night deal, because we can't go in the stands on that one, but for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Do we still want them if I can get 5 or 6 at least? Well,
They're good runners for the
Bob,
Yes.
Bob doesn't work with kids.
yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Lion Cheryl.
Sir.
And Lion Bob. So just so you know, the 5 or 8 Boy Scouts can sell 400 bags of popcorn a night. And pops. Okay? So what we would have to do is we'd have to make sure that we had 3 people inside the under building doing nothing but feeding the Boy Scout troops. Okay? So this is all a great idea and everything, but we would need 3 human beings.
You mean like literally feeding them or
No,
feeding them
no,
product?
Feeding them product.
Okay.
And making sure they get the change and emptying their money bags.
Okay.
This is not a small ask, okay? 5 or 6, as many as 8 Boy Scouts can sell 400 bags of popcorn. So that's the idea, that's the management challenge they have. But if they come, they will work. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
One other thing, this Boy Scout troop is, we sponsor when they started out. So that's why we get them all the time, and they're more than willing to work with us. They have been. A lot of times it comes out that they're, wherever they go on their daily or monthly, yearly meeting. What's it called? Anyway. So
Scout
that's why we-
capades.
huh?
Scout capades or
Yeah,
something,
Scout
whatever
capades,
it's
something
called.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why they do it, and they're well worth the money that we do give them. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay,
So we give them about $500 whenever they show up. And they literally sell $5,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
This is not a joke. But we
Okay.
have to have somebody to feed them.
Okay. So, for the good of the order, Ed was in trouble. He forgot his wedding anniversary. His wife was really angry. She told him, tomorrow morning I expect to find a gift in that driveway that goes from 0 to 200 in less than 6 seconds. And it better be there. The next morning, Ed got up early and left for work. When his wife woke up, she looked out the window and sure enough, there was a box, gift wrapped, in the middle of the driveway. Confused, she threw on her robe and ran out to the driveway and brought the box into the house. She opened it and found a brand new bathroom scale. Ed has been missing since Thursday.